Manchester United has qualified to the FA Cup final for a record-breaking 23rd time, but fans all over the world are calling for the head of Erik Ten Hag. Sack him or back him? That's the question I'm putting to you. But guys, I have another question for you. Could this be the most disgraceful victory in the history of Manchester United? Let's get proper into the official match reaction as we do get into the talk. Now, all over X now, people are saying Ten Hag is a fraud, Ten Hag out. And guys, honestly, Ten Hag has got his problems that we all know. But let's go back into this game, listen, really, and dig deep into the details, the nitty-gritties of this game. Honestly, can you really blame Erik Ten Hag that much for this nature of performance? Manchester United leads Coventry by 3 goals to 0, and by the 71st minute, we are leading 3-0, but Coventry scores 3 goals, almost 4. One was cancelled for a close offside, but 3 goals against Coventry after leading, players not running. Andre Onana was, I think, almost having a day off today. It was almost going to be a terrible day for Andre Onana, hadn't he redeemed himself by saving a penalty. But the backline, Casemiro, not a centre-back, we know, but still slow as the word, started decently well. I wasn't worried, by the way, at the start. For me, the way we capitulate, the way these players capitulate, it showed me one of many things. First of all, some of these players do not want Erik Ten Hag to stay in his job. These players are not playing for the manager. It was clear all over this game. Aaron Wan-Bissaka making error after error. Players not running. We are not tracking back like they didn't show at all like they wanted it. Marcus Rashford, and I'm thinking this is why I blame partly Erik Ten Hag. What on earth was Marcus Rashford staying on the pitch longer than Kobbie Mainoo? Why on earth was Erik Ten Hag pulling off Kobbie Mainoo? You're managing a game. You need your best midfielder. You've been leading the game. You need to be managing it with good midfielders who can tame and slow the pace of the game. You're putting off Kobbie Mainoo. That's poor game management on the side of Erik Ten Hag. And that's a general recurring problem of him. It's a perennial problem he has. I think I keep saying it. Ten Hag needs a refresher course in game management. But for this game, the manner in which we huffed and puffed to beat Coventry City, guys, in a semi-final with a final of the only title we could win at stake, for me, it is mostly the players to blame for how we puffed. And I'll tell you, Sir Jim Ratcliffe was there, he was watching. I will tell you honestly, if it were up to me, Kobbie Mainoo, Bruno Fernandes, Andre Onana can stay, Lisandro Martinez, Diogo Dalot, Rasmus Højlund, and did I mention and Amad Diallo? Those are the only players who would stay. The rest of the players, give them out if you have to. They don't want to play for the team. Look at Casemiro when he kicked the worst penalty, a player of his experience. That kick for me and his facial expression after, like he didn't care. It showed me that some of these players really are not dying for this manager. They are done. They don't die for the badge. Ten Hag has had issues with injuries. I think about 67 now for the entire season after this game. But honestly, some of the issues we've seen are beyond the manager. Yes, he has his issues. Take nothing away from him. Before I get to the manager and him being sacked or not, for me, these players players are lazy. Højlund is failing to finish tap-ins. Easy tap-ins he should be finishing. Ten Hag cannot come and finish for him. But the lack of desire for me against the Coventry, how can you come and lead a game like that by 3 goals to 0 and you capitulate in 19 minutes? In 19 minutes against Coventry, and we're almost losing it. It was done. Certain players, the body language alone was telling you they didn't care whether we are knocked out by Coventry. They didn't care in front of a packed Wembley. For me, it shows me that there is a lot of rot behind the scenes at this club. That these players do not have the heart for the club. They just want the manager out so that they can save their jobs. And again, for me, that is the first part we need to sort. Before we get to the manager, sort the players. They are just not good enough. Now let's get to Erik Ten Hag, the boss himself. He has got his own blame to take. And maybe the solution might not be sacking him yet, because it would be unfair, honestly, for a manager to be sacked because of these players. The players are just not good. They are garbage. But even most of them, that is. But even the players on the pitch, and I hate by the way to sound derogatory, but based on that performance, that was a garbage performance from players who are paid to play professional football for the most supported biggest club in the world. They don't respect the club. They don't respect the fans. They don't care. Their body language just sells them out. But going to the manager now, he does not support his players enough. The body language of Erik Ten Hag on the touchline does not support the players. If the players are struggling on the pitch, it's like Erik Ten Hag knows and sees that these players don't want to play for him. That's why he's at times, he shows it on the touchline, and he's human. That his facial expressions show you that he's done, he's out of his depth, he has got no solutions. Now, if you're a player on the pitch, you're not motivated by what you saw on the touchline from your manager. So you're also going to give up because you cannot be motivated if your manager is sulking on the bench. You don't do that as a manager. You need to be animated and give players a bit of energy to bounce off, support them from the touchline. Erik Ten Hag runs out of ideas, runs to his bench as if he has talked to the players. Look at the halftime, at halftime of extra time. Erik Ten Hag spent more time talking to his assistants, players all scattered, instead of bringing the players together and trying to psych them up to get a comeback. If you saw that, there was no communication between him and the players at all. It's like he fears them. He just had a moment later when they had called them back onto the pitch. I think whispered to Amad Diallo. I don't remember who else. That shows you that he's probably not in full control of this team. He's probably fed up of this lot. There is something not right. There is no cohesion between Erik Ten Hag and these players. It's just a management. I think they're just managing the gallery. They're just managing the viewers on TV because the cameras are watching. They are concealing stuff. But there is no cohesion in this team. So what do you do? For me, the first thing to sort is the players. Ineos has got to let go of most of these players. Casemiro is done. No more football in his feet. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not good enough to be a Manchester United player. That we've seen and we've agreed. Harry Maguire is aging and ready. He's done. Yes, he scored a goal. He's physical and all, but Maguire is done as well. In the middle, Kobe Mainoo, untouchable. Bruno Fernandes is working hard. You see he's still working hard for the team, kicking every free kick. Bruno can stay. Go to the forwards. Garnacho is a young kid. He's 19. He's good. He's promising. He can stay. Who else? Rasmus Højlund has got to step up his game. We are done with the excuses. He has got to realize that he's playing for a top team, but his quality is there. But maybe the team around him has killed his levels. He no longer has the hunger and desire to fight and win for the team. So you can cut him some slack. Scott McTominay has scored 10 goals for Manchester United now. He's an important player in this team. He's one of those who have the heart for the club. How do you reward him? Let him stay. Honestly, for me, as a reward, Scott McTominay should stay. I'm not saying Scott McTominay out no more. He has fought and he has shown the heart for the team. He can stay. And I'm thinking for the remainder of the season, injury or no injury, Scott McTominay, whether you have injuries or not, should be a starter in this team because of his desire and heart. We want players who have got the heart for this team to be playing. Marcus Rashford cannot be playing even 70 minutes. How is Erik Ten Hag? And these are the issues he's got. How was Marcus Rashford on the pitch for all those minutes? That you put off Mainoo before Marcus Rashford. Rashford, unless Erik Ten Hag wants to expose him. But Rashford is done. He's overly exposed. There's nothing more for us to see or to be more disappointed about Marcus Rashford. He should be out of the team. Rashford, that one is a gone case. He should be gone. Antony comes on, not impactful as such. Yes, he's trying and all, but guys, the whole team, there is no unit, there is no fight. How do you play for Manchester United without a spirit? It's painful to watch this Manchester United team talking. Honestly, I reached a point and I'm saying we deserve nothing from this game. And Coventry were unlucky not to win this one. They were extremely unlucky. It should have been theirs because they worked for a victory. They came and fought. We came, played, dominated. You thought we were going to whitewash them, obliterate them. These are teams you should be beating 6, 7, 8-0 and just go home and and pause and give fans something. But even Coventry, we are struggling and players are not even putting on a fight. At every attack, Coventry were in our box. Every attack, Coventry were in our box, and we can blame Onana for not stopping certain balls. But honestly, if it is you, it is all crashing down on you against a team you did not expect to show up like that. What do? So you can't blame him that much because we know his levels. This squad has ganged up. Some of these players, the so-called senior players, important players, have clearly ganged up against the manager. They want him out, but we cannot let this happen. For me, my verdict is sacking Ten Hag might come later. If you are getting Zinedine Zidane, I said it because there are not so many good options around. But if you are getting Zidane, it's okay. We can sack Ten Hag because I still think he's a one-trick pony. I still think he fails to manage games, and that's why again I blame him. You don't lead 3-0 and fail to bring in players and close the gaps in the middle. Coventry are still coming at us, they were just not effective. It's because Erik Ten Hag sticks to his one gun of the same way, same style of pack the bus. Have players close the midfield, make it solid so that they don't get to your goalkeeper. That is a management thing. But before we get to him, most of these players must leave this club. They must leave this club. We are done. Not against Coventry. That said, we are in the final, and I think Man City should be worried, by the way. That's the thing about Man United. We struggle like this. The next game against City, these players are psyched. They show up, they can beat City. Anyway, subscribe to the United Sport. My name is Webb. Out of 10, our performance is the worst of the season. 3 out of 10.